Whispers of Time, Advice for a Happier Life. Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered what makes our lives happier? Is it success, money, or fame? Or is happiness sometimes found in the little things, the moments where we can find peace in the simplest of things? Today, I would like to invite you on an interesting journey where we will listen to whispers of time, hearing stories that have stood the test of thousands of years. Stories from powerful kings to simple philosophers, each carrying within it an invaluable lesson. We will learn from those who came before us, who lived, experienced, and left behind profound lessons about life and happiness. Since ancient times, the question of happiness has always been one of humanity's greatest questions. Some spend their entire lives pursuing power, while others choose to live simply and enjoy every moment of their lives. Imagine standing in the midst of a world of luxury and power, yet feeling lost because you can't find real joy. Likewise, imagine living in a small, modest room, yet your soul is always calm and happy. That is the difference between what we possess and what truly brings us joy. Let's begin this journey with a story about Alexander the Great. When he was young, he quickly became a king who conquered almost the entire world. However, at the hour of his death, he made just one request: to have his hands placed outside of his coffin. Alexander wanted humanity to understand that all wealth and glory cannot be taken with us when we leave this world. This is an incredibly meaningful message. Money, power, and fame, they are all temporary, and they mean nothing when we are no longer here. Therefore, let's learn to be happy and cherish every meaningful moment in life. The story of Alexander the Great becomes even more remarkable when we learn about a significant encounter between him and Diogenes, a simple Greek philosopher. When Alexander came to meet Diogenes and asked if he had any wishes, Diogenes simply replied, "Please move aside so that the sun can shine on me." It was a surprising and simple answer, yet it held a profound philosophy of life. Alexander was amazed by the simplicity and freedom of Diogenes, and he confessed, "If I were not Alexander, I would want to be Diogenes." This means that despite having everything, Alexander saw the value in the freedom of the soul that Diogenes possessed. Sometimes we focus too much on seeking luxuries and forget that true freedom and tranquility within our hearts are what matter most. Imagine, in today's modern world, where we are constantly surrounded by the pressure to have a good job, a big house, and many possessions, Diogenes' story could be a valuable lesson. Sometimes we forget that happiness does not lie in the material things we own, but in how we treat ourselves and those around us. Diogenes lived a life free from pressure, unbound by the desire to own, and it was precisely that which allowed him to find true happiness. Think about this. In today's society, we are always caught up in the cycle of competition and the desire to possess. We want a better job, more money, a bigger house. But can all of that really guarantee our happiness? Diogenes' answer is no to him. Happiness is simply knowing what is enough. It is a release from endless desires. Because when we are no longer bound by external things, we can truly find peace and joy within ourselves. The story of Alexander and Diogenes gives us an important lesson. Sometimes, happiness does not come from holding everything in our hands, but from letting go. Alexander, though he conquered the world, realized that power and wealth were not everything. He saw the freedom and joy that Diogenes had from his simple way of life, and it truly amazed him. This is also a lesson for all of us sometimes, letting go of excessive desires, living simply, and appreciating the little things can bring us more joy than anything else. Next, let's look at the story of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He was truly a wise ruler and had a philosophy of life that was very close to Greek philosophy. Marcus Aurelius was not only an emperor, but also a true philosopher. He learned to face difficulties with calmness and perseverance. Marcus wrote in his book, Meditations, sharing his thoughts on life and how to face challenges. To Marcus, life was always full of challenges and suffering, but the important thing was how we dealt with them. In Meditations, Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is an incredibly meaningful statement because it points out that we cannot control what happens around us, but we can completely control how we react to it. This is truly necessary in a constantly changing world, where we often face things that do not go as planned. Facing challenges calmly and finding solutions is the key to keeping our minds at peace. The story of Marcus Aurelius is particularly persuasive because he was not just a philosopher, but also an emperor with immense responsibilities. Under the pressure of power and the responsibilities of a vast empire, Marcus chose to live calmly and face difficulties with composure. When faced with a major plague spreading throughout the Roman Empire, Marcus chose to confront it with courage and responsibility. He wrote, "Never forget that you are human, and every pain you face is part of the journey." This demonstrates acceptance and patience, essential qualities for living a peaceful life. Even when facing great hardships, Marcus Aurelius also emphasized kindness and compassion. He always encouraged people to be kind to one another and to themselves. Marcus once said, "There is nothing nobler than living a life of kindness and integrity." This is something we should especially remember in modern society. As life becomes more complex, holding on to kindness and living with integrity can be a crucial foundation that helps us overcome difficulties. Kindness will bring us peace, help us connect with others, and find the true meaning of life. Looking back at the three stories of Alexander the Great, Diogenes, and Marcus Aurelius, we see that true happiness does not come from power, money, or fame. Happiness is an internal journey, and it starts with understanding ourselves, having the courage to face difficulties, acceptance, and showing kindness to ourselves and others. These stories are not just historical tales. They are profound lessons that we can apply in our daily lives. Think about how we are living. Are we chasing material things while forgetting what really matters? Are we taking the time to appreciate the small moments in life? Remember, happiness is not always about having more. It may be about knowing what is enough, appreciating, and living a life of kindness. Happiness is a personal journey, and it depends on how we perceive life. For Alexander, happiness might have been the freedom to let go of all the wealth at the end of his life. For Diogenes, happiness was simplicity, unbound by material things. And for Marcus Aurelius, happiness was calmness, facing all challenges with patience and courage. All three stories show that each of us has the freedom to choose how we want to live and how we define happiness. We can apply these lessons to our present lives. When facing difficulties, remember Marcus Aurelius and face them with calmness. When feeling pressured by material success, remember Diogenes and ask yourself if those things really bring you happiness. And when standing between the choice of power and peace, remember Alexander and think about what truly matters in this life. Life is a journey that each of us is walking. On that journey, the lessons from those who came before can light our path, help us find true meaning, and teach us to appreciate the simplest of things. I hope that after today's stories, you have gained more positive thoughts and inspiration to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Remember, happiness is not a destination, but the experiences we have along the way. And if you enjoy stories like these, don't forget to follow and look forward to the next episodes of the series, Whispers of Time. Each episode will be a new journey, a new perspective, and who knows, it may be the whispers you need to find your own happiness. Let's continue the journey of exploring, learning, and seeking true joy in life together. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next stories.